And let's jump into the podcast. Hello and welcome to Paradise. You are listening to the Green Dudes podcast, the only Green Day podcast that matters. You're here with me, your host, Connor Mack, along with my BFFFFFFFFFFL, Green Day comrade in arms, and dude wife for life, Mr. Connor Kelly. Connor, how the heck are you doing? This is our first episode of 2025.
Yes. Yeah, I feel good. Um, I feel like I'm ready to take on the new year a little bit,
Good, yeah.
Just grab 2025 by the cojones
Oh,
and
wow.
just
Cojones.
um, like just grab it. And then
Grab it.
I actually don't know what else after that. That's I've gotten to the first step, the grabbing. That's pretty
Yeah,
clear in my mind.
yeah.
The big old handful of 2025. But then it's like, then
Well,
what do you do after that?
yeah. And by cojones, just to clarify, you mean
You could say it.
well, I don't know. I'm just trying
Oh,
to,
you don't. Oh, you don't know.
by cojones, you mean,
You're not sure. So if you had to guess, okay,
if I had to guess,
you don't know.
well, there's the whole thing. It's like grab life by the horns, you know? That's what
Yeah,
I would have said. I would have said
that's
grab them
right.
by the
Yeah,
horns.
it's kind of like grabbing one big
Well,
old horn a little bit. Yep.
Well, what I'm kind of thinking is like cojones, I thought they like referred to like balls or testicles,
Mm-hmm.
but I know you wouldn't be so crass as to bring that up on a podcast.
New year, new me.
Wow, okay.
Maybe I'm just trying out being a little crass, just see how it
Yeah,
feels.
we're going blue in 2025. Okay.
Yep.
This is a new Connor here.
Yep. Yep.
A little bit edgier,
Yes.
a little
Yeah.
bit in your
So
face.
be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
I might just start wearing backwards hats and
Oh man.
kind of just like posing, kind of like,
That'll be good. Maybe get a tribal tattoo.
yes.
That would be
Oh,
cool.
and you know what else I was thinking was a chain wallet.
Oh yes, a chain wallet.
That would be pretty sick, right?
That would be pretty badass. And I mean, you do lose your wallet
It's
pretty often,
functional
so
and
the
stylish.
chains, yeah, yeah.
Did you ever have a chain that would just like hang from your pants?
No,
Yeah, I didn't think
never.
so, but
Yeah,
I kind of think that I think I had a chain that I just like acquired,
yeah.
but then like never wore it because I
You were
was
too
just
scared.
just like a little dweeb, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh well, because you can't like just add a chain to your look, you can't just like
that's a
one day
huge.
just be like, oh, I just
Yeah,
have a chain now.
that's a huge transformation you would take on. I mean, especially if you're a kid,
Yes.
Um, I don't. I wouldn't be able to put myself through that. Just think of what everyone would say. Like, oh, now you're a kid with a chain.
Hmm.
That's a big, it's like, think of the ramifications.
And I think a big thing too is like, it's like you can't just incorporate a chain. If you're going to
Yeah,
wear a chain, it's all in. You gotta
yeah,
start wearing humongous cargo pants or shorts and big striped long sleeve shirts and
yeah.
you know do your hair with a you know dye your you got to go all the way.
You gotta dye your
You got to have
hair.
skulls. It's like you can't
Oh yeah, the
just
skulls.
be like one day you just have that's the thing. The chain is an accessory. It's not, you got to go
Yeah.
all in.
Well, yeah, because you
And
can't just
I was
be a
never
normal
able to
guy
go
with a
right.
chain.
I was never able to go all in.
Yeah.
Didn't have and I don't know. So maybe
Actually,
now as an adult man,
well,
maybe now it's time. I don't know.
it's kind of funny the evolution of the chain because I can picture in my head like a '90s Billy Joe wearing a chain,
Hmm.
but like we're but looking really cool otherwise. But by the time we were kids, like in the 2000s, like I don't think you could just do that. You couldn't be like a just like a cool dude wearing a chain, but like with not with going the full uh new metal or goth route. You
Exactly.
know, it's
I almost wonder if Billy in the When I Come Around music video, like he
just want
has
to
those.
acknowledge we have Yeetus 3644 saying yo in the chat. I pressed a button that showed that on the screen.
Wow, that's
Didn't
pretty
mean
cool.
didn't mean to, but thank you Yeetus for dropping by.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Yeetus? But anyways, you know what I'm
Anyways,
saying? Like, does
yeah.
he? I don't know if he actually wears a chain, but like those are like the kind of like long shorts, kind of deep. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's quite even wearing pants in that. Like, I think they're like
Yeah.
humongous gray cargo shorts, and then he has the sweater. It's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, could have a chain going on there, but
That's true. That's
just throwing
true.
that out there. I don't know.
And I mean, then thinking about like like if you were to wear a chain in this era, it would automatically, you would be flagged for irony, like right away. Um, like how could you justify wearing a chain in 2025?
No, no, unless you've been listening to like Insane Clown Posse your whole
Yes.
life,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are
And there
just
are
gonna
people
look at
that
you.
are like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
right. There definitely is a subset of people where they could be wearing a chain and you wouldn't blink. But like somehow, even if you've never met them, like if they've been wearing a chain their whole life, or if it's just like, oh, like this dude just put on a chain. Like
Yeah. Very true.
there's kind of an
Did
aura about it.
Did you have friends that were juggalos ever?
Well,
Well, I did.
no, no, yes, that's the thing. I know you did. So I
And I
kind of
guess
feel like,
you were friends with them too.
right, it's like kind of by association,
Yeah.
but also like I never with the same level of intimacy that you did.
Yeah.
You were in like the inner circle, you know.
I was. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I, I don't know. I don't know. Like okay. I was respectful to their decisions and their
Right.
style
Their
and
culture, you could say
their
it. Their
culture.
culture.
Yes, yes. But I like, I never wanted to um dive in.
Mhm.
I knew it wasn't me, but I'm just trying to picture myself now. I'm trying to think of the universe where I actually went in and went like full juggalo.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, it seems impossible, but
But it does feel like there's a universe where it
I
happened.
think there is a universe where that happens, and who knows how long that would have lasted. But
Yeah.
um, and there's a part of me too that kind of regrets like not diving into any of those subcultures fully. Like, you know, I historically have listened to like a lot of emo music and
Mhm.
goth adjacent music. I never really dove in fully and donned the eyeliner and the mascara and the black clothes and stuff. And it's like, is that just like a lack of commitment on my end, or do I just know that's not me? Because that's how it's always felt.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there was just like more fear there than I let on.
No, I know what you mean. I agree with that. And I also kind of look back and think like, man, I kind of wish I took the plunge because yeah, like we both were into a lot of music where easily we could have gone that route. But I kind of feel like part of me feels like it makes sense that we latched onto Green Day the way we did, like
Yeah.
because we didn't go full steam ahead on sort of like adopting the uniform of these kind of musical sub genres because obviously Green Day has plenty of iconic looks, especially when we got into them. And there were also, I think, plenty of people who kind of did go into like the emo route who
Yeah.
got super into Green Day, Um, but like looking back on Green Day and their looks and just like how they are, I kind of feel like there wasn't really any expectation to change your look to show that you were into them,
No.
because like part of being into Green Day and part of being like of that fandom is kind of like it is for losers. And
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're not gonna shift to change your look, which often was kind of viewed as like a cool move, you're doing something that's edgy and expressing yourself, and
Sure.
but like I feel like something about not maybe having like the confidence or the commitment to make that pretty huge shift, what feels like a very huge shift, especially when you're younger in that like middle school, high school age. Green Day sort of, I think, has this fandom of like, yeah, you just can be a fucking dork and love this music, and there's like no friction, there's no
Yeah,
contradiction,
totally.
it feels like,
Yeah.
between that. So
And
I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
think I think it was different, like Green Day versus like MCR, or any like those bands from the same era. Is like we kind of there's an element of Green Day's discography where they like they are just normal guys
Yeah.
and just wearing whatever. So yeah, it wasn't until American Idiot where they really embraced the whole rock star thing. And so you kind of had permission to be both, but yeah, it was different because when in like middle school and high school, when I would talk to like the goth girls about like being into MCR, they're just like, "What the fuck? No, you're not.
Right, exactly.
You don't even know them. What are you talking about?" But that there wasn't that kind of weird boundary for Green Day. So it's just kind of a I don't know. And then also, and you could maybe be provide some more insight into this, but I don't think that there's clicks, genre related clicks like there used to be in school these
Mhm.
days. That's what I've heard, at least.
No, I think that's largely true. And yeah, as a teacher, generally I work with younger age groups, but like I do have some experience with upper grades, and even then I realized that it is more accepting, like that there has been a shift. I think that's cool. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
maybe I missed out just a bit, but like I don't it is what it is,
I
and
know.
kind of a growing up feeling like a fucking dweeb is it's just part of who I am, and I do think it's part
Yeah,
of like the Green Day journey. So it's like it wouldn't be the same, it.
no, it wouldn't be close to the same. Um, yeah, it's made us who we are for better or for worse. And yeah, do I think becoming a juggalo would have behooved me? No, I don't think that.
I don't know.
I don't
Totally
think it would
not.
have fit me particularly well.
Yeah.
And there was all, and honestly, maybe Green Day is to blame for this a little bit, where I kind of did grow up being like stubbornly going against the grain of like what people around me were doing,
Yeah.
uh, kind of contrarian to a fault. And do I regret doing that? No, not really. I
No.
really don't.
No. You
But
you wanted to be the minority. What are you gonna
I
do?
did, yes, yes. That that was a directive that Green Day gave me in the fifth grade, and I lived that to a T. I lived that promise. Anyways, Connor, 2025. I was gonna say to you at the start, I was gonna say, "Oh, I haven't talked to you since last year,"
Yeah.
but that's not true because
It's not true.
I saw we saw each other in the morning
Yeah.
of the first day of the year because we celebrated New Year's Eve together,
Yes.
which was a lot of fun. We even did some Green Day karaoke.
We did. Yeah. You could go onto the Green Dudes Twitter account and see for
It's an
yourself.
exclusive
But
karaoke
we
performance.
we rang in the new year as the Green Dudes,
Yeah,
singing
in character.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Um, and I just didn't realize how massive our fan base was. Our reputation
I
really
know.
precedes us, so that was
It
pretty
does,
cool.
yeah. It was very cool. I mean,
That
it
was
was
pretty
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we,
But no, it was cool. We don't always get to celebrate in person
yeah.
for New Year's, so that was a lot of fun. It's been a couple years since
Yeah, it has been a couple years,
we've
but,
gotten to.
yeah, it was fun and something that I feel I'm still, like, recovering from in a big
Y-
way. I,
Yeah.
uh I went hard and, I'm 31 years old, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
I I don't know how many golden monkeys you had, but I woke up and there were 2 left, and I
yeah,
don't think I
well,
drank 4 of them. So
I don't know, man. I think I only had 2, to be honest with you.
right, okay, 2 and 2. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
But I mean, still, that's
Yeah. No, but the Coronas were free flowing.
yeah.
Coronas were free flowing. And then the big mistake I made was I had a couple of the seltzers, the
Mm,
which just the combination is bad for me. It's
yeah.
it doesn't but anyways, it was a blast. And yeah, no, I feel like it was a good start to the year. It was a good way to kind of kick off the year. I feel like it's you know, even though I'm somebody who now has like multi-day long hangovers,
Mhm.
um, I do still feel optimistic about the year ahead. Um, did you think of any resolutions for yourself?
Mm. The one that I don't think it's like serious. I have made serious resolutions in the past and have stuck with
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
Famously, um, changing my diet to a vegetarian diet was
Yes.
a New Year's
Mhm.
resolution, and I've stuck with that. That was my
Yeah.
2021 New Year's resolution. So I'm just throwing that out there because, like, in the past I've done that, and I think try to stick with it. Going into 2025, I know I had all this big talk about kind of like grabbing the, what I'm talking about.
Cojones.
Yes, the cojones.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'm really thinking is like, man, I haven't been playing music lately.
Yeah.
I just have not been, and I'm kind of going into this year with some more free time than what I've had. I've finished school, like pretty excited about that, and so I'm kind of telling myself it's more of like maybe an affirmation, if you want to call it that. But I'm like, I want to get back into the habit of playing music. And it doesn't even mean like making songs or anything like that. Like I just want to play like at all, even if it's just, jamming by myself for like 10
Yeah.
minutes. I haven't even really been doing that. And so I'm like, I got to dust off this fucking guitar and just like put that back into the fucking the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good resolution. I mean mine are, much the same. I this was an off year for me musically and creatively. I guess we did, I don't want to diminish the work and the blood, sweat and tears we put into the podcast.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, it was very minimal for my output musically and I cannot let that be the same for this coming year. And I mean, you and I, Connor, we do have an album to finish, so by necessity, we will dive
Yeah.
back into it.
It would be great if that could be done this year
Yeah,
because it feels like it's a bit of like the albatross around our neck, if you ask me,
absolutely,
because
it is. Yeah, yeah,
it's like we do have other plans, we do have other ideas
yeah,
that we've talked about, and we know that we could do those at any time, and
yes,
yet sometimes it feels like we're kind of weighed down a bit by just trying to get this thing out the door. So
yeah.
maybe this year will be the year. We'll see.
I feel good about it. I feel good about it. What do you think the boys in Green Day had for their resolutions this year?
Um, it's a good question. I think for Mike, he wants his sideburns to be the sharpest and most
Yeah.
angular they've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just gonna kind of go like full, like just like straight, like all the way down, like just some insane fucking
Yeah.
sideburns.
I
Um,
mean, maybe even mutton chops.
maybe even mutton chops.
That would
Yes.
be quite a statement.
That, yeah, that would be. And you know, that would look really classic when he, like, with his like long straight hair instead of having it back,
Yeah.
you know, if he had like
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
like a very like UK rocker sort of
Yes.
like 70s
He,
sort of look, you
he
know.
should do that. Yeah.
That'd be cool. For Trey, um I don't know, maybe eat 50 eggs.
Yeah. Finally.
Maybe just this is the year. Maybe he's the man for the job.
Maybe, because we're thinking about, things we didn't do in the past or could
Mhm,
have done differently. Maybe he is thinking like, I was wrong when I said no man can eat 50 eggs.
right.
I actually think
And
I could be the
I
man to
think
do it.
he's had a lot of time. I like to think that
Yeah.
he's been working on it over the
He's
years,
been
like, you know.
training. He
Right,
he got to
last
49
year,
last year.
right, yeah. It's just one fucking egg
Yeah.
short. And, for Billy, man, I don't know, maybe dye his hair a color he's never done before,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
you know?
What color
But,
would
like,
that
just,
be?
like, go nuts, just get, like, pink hair, just, like, this
Pink.
fucking
Yeah, yeah,
huge
yeah.
shock of, like,
Yeah.
pink hair,
Or just like entirely white.
yeah, yes,
Just white hair.
that'd be pretty cool. He would look like
Yeah,
Peter Capaldi if he did that,
he
honestly.
would.
He
He
would.
would. Yeah. And then they could play a show together.
Yeah. Does Peter Capaldi have another album coming out this year, or did that
Yes.
he
Yeah. Well,
does,
folks,
right?
for the uninitiated, Peter Capaldi is an actor from Scotland, famously known for being the 12th Doctor in Doctor Who. He does in other things. But yeah, he does have an album coming out this year, and it looks like he is going to play some shows. So that would be, maybe he'll be opening up for Green Day. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Mm, we just might find ourselves in one of those.
We might find ourselves at one of those shows.
That'd be something.
That would be interesting. Do you- uh okay, so we did kind of get on to resolutions, and I
Mm,
think this is a nice segue into the premise of today's episode. We did mention last week a little bit how cool it would be to do some bingo, some Green Day 2025 bingo. Um you know we might not look old enough for bingo. I know bingo is traditionally it's an elder person's game. Connor, I worked at a retirement community, an old folks home, as some people say.
mhm.
And Connor, they got rabid around bingo time.
Yeah.
Honestly, the one time the bingo lady canceled on them, it was like a mutiny. It
Yeah.
was scary. It
Damn.
was They take it very, very seriously.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we do the same here.
Right.
Uh, well,
Obviously.
yeah,
We wanna show respect for the game of
yes,
bingo.
absolutely, absolutely. And because I mean, we might make this bingo card and find ourselves playing it in our old folks' home, 15 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a pretty outdated bingo card, but
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, it's like they're gonna be probably doing things for cheap, and they got to save money somehow, and so
yeah, sure.
outdated bingo cards might be the way. But anyways, Connor, I am going to we're going to use a website called the number one. Well, it's called bingobaker.com. It's the number one free bingo card generator.
Mm.
And so here I'm going to add.
According to who? You know,
I mean,
who's
according
granting that accolade?
That's a great question. Actually, I don't know if there's any clarification on that, but I think we
I
just
don't
have to take their word for it.
I don't think it's right that people can just make those statements.
Yeah.
Like, all the time, you go to like a pizza shop or something, and it'll be like, oh, world famous fucking Giuseppe's Pizza, and it's like,
Yes.
really, if I go to like fucking Dublin, they're gonna know about fucking New York City Giuseppe's Pizza? I don't fucking think so.
It's kind of like that scene from Elf where where Will Ferrell as the titular elf.
Yeah, right.
He
He's the elf. Yeah, that's
he's
true.
the elf. He
Yes.
goes into that coffee shop that has the sign number one best coffee in the world, and then he's like,
Yeah.
he goes in and starts congratulating them for it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know?
It's been a few years since I've watched that movie, so I don't remember that scene.
Yeah, I didn't watch it this year, and I was thankful for that.
Yeah. Gotta count your blessings.
Yeah. Anyways, here is the number one free bingo card generator from bingobaker.com. All right. As you can see on the top, I have it labeled Green Day Bingo. And so Connor, just while the listeners are taking that in,
Yeah.
for the uninitiated, for maybe the people who are now old enough to know what bingo is, do you want to explain to them the game briefly?
Yeah, sure. You have a bingo card that is a 5x5 grid of tiles, 25 total tiles. In the very center, you get a free space. And then, depending on whatever rules you're playing, in this case, we're going to be coming up with Green Day related things or events that we suspect may happen throughout the year. As those things do or do not occur, if they happen, you put a counter or a marker or something to show that that thing has happened. And the first player to get 5 tiles in a row in any direction, vertically, fucking laterally, diagonally, then you win. You got a bingo.
Yeah.
So there you have, and usually, like in the old folks' home, they might have like the little ball roller. You crank the freaking, and then you take out. Oh, and it's
Classic.
like B4, and then if you
Yeah.
got B, so that's kind of just the deal.
Yeah. Perfect.
But we're doing Green
Well
Day
said. We're
bingo.
doing Green Day
So
bingo. Yeah, like Connor said, specifically things that might happen in the Green Day universe this year. Coming up now, Connor. As you noted, there is a free space right in the middle.
that's right.
Is there something we want to name that's more Green Day appropriate instead of free space?
Um, I don't know. I was kind of thinking that would be like the Green Dude space, but maybe there is something. Maybe there's something funnier
Yeah.
to put there. Free something. Is there like a Green Day lyric with free in it? Like a free. Oh,
We can come out. We can come back to this
we can come
actually.
back. We can come back to
Yeah.
that. We can come back to that.
Free. I don't know. But yeah, we'll come back to that.
What about Freen Day?
All right, that's perfect. Green Day.
Instead of Green Day, am I right?
Yeah.
Freen Day.
Green Day. All right. That's brilliant, Connor. I'm glad we
Thank you. That's
glad we
we're
waited a
just
little bit.
we're hashing and mashing. This is all.
Yeah,
This is straight off the dome. None of this
it
is
is.
prepared. So
All right. So I think Connor, the first the just to kick us off, we can take turns actually
mhm.
doing spaces here. Um does it matter which space we do? Like, are we gonna just kind of,
I don't think so. Well,
yeah?
we could kind of just do it haphazardly.
There's not an order we have to
No,
go
no,
in, right?
no. It's just wherever.
All right, so I'll go first, Connor. I was thinking this before you even brought it up, but
Hmm.
the number one for me is Billy dyes his hair. Um, which I think that might be an easy one. Should we do it more specifically? Billy dyes his hair black or just dyes his hair a
Um,
different color?
I think even just dyeing his hair, because the thing I think with like a bingo board, it's good to have some easy, some more specific. So I think it's okay just to leave it at dyes his hair, because
Yeah,
you
okay. Billy
gotta
dyes
you
his hair.
gotta have some easier ones on there.
Yeah, I gotta do some gimmies.
Yeah, because
All
otherwise it's
right.
like shit. How's that gonna work out?
I
All right.
know. Is there going to be one for dyes his hair black, one for dyes his hair blue,
Yeah.
so on
Yeah.
and so forth. Okay. So Connor, next up, and again, this can be even if it's tangentially Green Day related, but it
Oh
has to
yeah,
be Green Day related.
I got one. I got one. You
All
ready?
right, let's go for it.
All right. I want you to put this one like G3
All right, G
right
three.
next to Freen Day there.
Okay.
All right. This one's gonna be new Punk Bunny coffee flavor.
Oh yeah. That's a really good one. All right, new Punk Bunny coffee flavor.
Or just
All
flavor.
right,
I don't know. Yeah.
that's again a pretty safe one, I think.
Yeah.
So but very good.
Oh, don't worry. They're gonna get more out there.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Got a couple weird
see.
ones in my back pocket, I think.
Okay, cool. But that's did you see they put out some of the Punk Bunny outtakes like for their they did the QVC.
Oh, yeah, actually, I did see
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
those were pretty funny. We got some
Yeah.
classic Mike
They
moments.
they're just like so it's funny because like they're doing like this kind of awkward infomercial bit the whole time,
Yeah,
where it's like, yeah, they're outtakes, but like they're doing it so deadpan. It's like I think they're trying to like lean into that style, which is cool. Like that's what's funny
yeah,
about it. But it's just like um I don't know, like it's like a different kind of humor than you see them doing elsewhere a lot of the times, I think. And I thought
yeah,
that was kind
yeah,
of funny.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, it's a different environment for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So far we have Billy dyes his hair, new
Mm,
Punk Bunny coffee flavor. I am going to go. Okay, this is kind of gonna be a stretch, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna do I4.
mhm.
I'm gonna do the cover ups perform on the East Coast,
Okay.
which I mean, it is extremely it's very possible, but I do think it's a bit of a stretch.
Mhm.
And for those listening unaware of the cover ups, that is Green Day's cover band that they play with their friends. They've typically played all around the East Bay area and other parts of California. They're actually playing in the UK this month because I think Billy lives there part time now. Um, kind of, what do you think the chances are of a cover ups East Coast performance?
I don't think they're very high. I think I would label it as somewhere between like 25-30%. So
Okay,
so
yeah,
not nothing. I really do think that it could happen. And sometimes with Green Day, it feels like if something seems unlikely, that's kind of like when they shoot from the hip a bit and it's like, oh
yeah,
shit, like I didn't think
uh huh,
that was gonna, like they
absolutely,
sometimes they got some like some maneuvers. They
yeah,
got they
yeah,
got some unexpected jabs in there. That could be one. That could be
absolutely.
they could be playing a baby's all right, and
It could be, yes, yeah,
they'll just
yeah,
fly, we'll get in there.
uh huh.
So
We will be there. All right,
good deal.
Connor. What you got next?
Okay. So I kind of have like an idea, but it also kind of involves me asking you a question.
Sure.
Is that cool? I don't want to like
Yeah.
break the
No,
rules here.
that's fine.
Okay. Because I was like, um, I guess I was trying to think like, okay, so we know that uh Dookie recently had its anniversary,
Yeah.
94. And then I was like, did when did Insomniac come out? I was like, was that the following year? I was wondering if there was a Green Day album anniversary within this year, and I haven't looked anything up, and maybe I should know, but I don't. And I was kind of
Yeah.
wondering, are we looking at anything like that?
Okay, so I have put a little bit of thought into this,
Okay,
obviously. Uh,
obviously.
and so I mean, Insomniac does have its 30th anniversary this year, but
Right.
I think they just put out a 25-year anniversary edition of Insomniac a few years ago.
Hmm.
Um, so that wouldn't be my top pick. What I think is likelier, and because they've done a Nimrod set, they've done a Insomniac set, they've done a Dookie set now. Um, this year is the 25th anniversary of Warning,
Oh, there we go.
so
Okay.
I think we could get a Warning anniversary set.
I think we should count that as yours because you're a bit more, and then I'll do two in a row. But I think you
All
should
right, yeah,
throw that on there.
all right, yeah,
Warning
that sounds good. We'll do
anniversary set.
okay, we'll do right here.
All right,
All
good
right,
call.
Warning 25th anniversary release. All right.
Boom. Okay. So mine is going to be um new Green Day single.
Yeah. All right, new Green Day single. What space do you want for that?
Let's throw it a bottom right corner.
All
Oh
right.
five.
Okay. New Green Day single. And I mean, do you want to specify where, we can just leave it as is on the square, but
Mm-hmm.
by new Green Day single, do you mean like an actual new song or like
Yes,
a
I
single
do.
front save face? Okay.
No, I mean like a new song, like Pollyanna or something. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like given where they are, and part of me, I don't know if I should have gone like a bit more out there because I was like, dude, what about a Green Day EP? But I
Yeah.
just I feel
That's
like
ambitious.
it is. I feel like in terms of likelihood, I in my heart, like I would love a Green Day EP, and that would be such a cool move. But I like the rationality of me is just telling me I don't think it's as likely, but I really could see a new Green Day single this year because it feels like it's just within that like stretch of time post Saviors where it's like
Yeah.
just something to like keep them in the conversation, just to
I think
keep
so.
Green Day there.
Yeah, and I mean going back, historically we had, like you mentioned, Pollyanna was a year or so after Foam. We had back in the USA, which was just about a year after Rev Rad. Um, you know, so I think historically, like we this could this could be a thing
Hmm.
that happens. And also you got to keep in mind, Connor, that Saviors, the album, is only actually it's we're going to be celebrating its 1 year anniversary in just a couple weeks,
Yeah,
which is
wild.
crazy. Yeah, but to them, like, it's been recorded and written for like 4 years or something.
Hmm.
uh so I imagine they're probably ready to start working on whatever comes next. So I think I think there is some fuel to that prediction.
Mm. Okay, and then
Now, did you
I'll
do two in a row? Yeah.
yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
another before I pass it back to you. Let's see here. Um, man. Um, okay. So we know that 2025, this is also like the herald of change within the United States presidency.
True.
Um, we are staring down the barrel of Trump coming into officially into office very
Yep.
soon. And
That's true.
I think there's like several predictions that could be um, thrown out there in light of that fact. Um, but for some reason, the one that is really sticking out to me, I hope this isn't in poor taste.
Oh boy.
It I would write it as unhinged Brit Instagram
Oh God.
rants. And un unhinged Brit
Okay.
Instagram rants. That's my prediction. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Fuck. I
Is
mean,
that okay? Is that okay to put
that
on
feels like a
there?
free space.
Is it Should we put that in the centers? I don't know.
All right. Where
That's
do you want this on the table?
let's I don't know. Let's throw it the bottom N.
Okay, bottom end.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those unaware, and again, this show, like, we're not parasocial. I don't want to be parasocial here.
No, I don't want to be. It's
Um,
just a fun bingo game. We're just
it's
having
just
fun
a
here.
fun bingo game. Um, but do you want to explain what that means? Who that is and what what you're referring to?
Yeah. So this has to do with Mike Dern's wife, who kind of infamously at this point has been I guess a vocal. I don't even know if you'd really say a Trump supporter, even though like she is. It's more so like wrapped up in the far right like media landscape, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and very much like kind of indoctrinated in perpetuating a lot of those ideas. And you know, kind of on the other side of that coin, Billy especially, I think, is vocal about like using his platform and his online persona to speak out against those things, and not with like huge consistency, because I don't think he wants, like, they've also said enough times, like, I don't think he really wants that to be like kind of his identity within that landscape either. But ultimately there's a difference of opinions within
yeah.
the, I guess, if you want to, like, yeah, it is a little parasocial to be commenting on like the Green Day family in that way, if you want to call it that. But
Yeah.
ultimately, it just seems that she has contradictory opinions to what I think other people within like
Yes.
the inner circle of Green Day have, and she shares them, and it does kind of just make me, I don't know, I do wonder about it. And maybe that's my problem, but
I think it's
I feel like as a bingo space, I feel okay about calling that one. So
yeah, no, I think it's valid. I do. Uh and yeah, I mean, best not to speculate too deep, but it's a real thing that is happening in the Green Day universe. And we're, Connor and I, we are big supporters of free speech.
oh,
Um
absolutely.
and so as such, we have to exercise our free speech and not censor ourselves. So there we go, and I'm sure Britt would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would agree with that.
Yeah, I think
Um,
like just what's that word, like on principle, right? Just on
yes,
principle.
exactly. To jump off that a little bit for my choice here, I and maybe you can help me phrase this,
Yeah.
but that made me think, yeah, with Trump coming into the presidency again, we know Billy Joe has had his fair share of run-ins with the MAGA crowd, and
Hmm.
some of the things he says or does, it's been known to enrage that audience. So I'm gonna say Billy Joe MAGA run in, or how would you phrase that? Billy Joe
When you
controversy?
when you say a run in, do you just mean like like are you
Exam
imagining that Billy will be like responding to
I
something, or
I think it's more like take last New Year's Eve for example, with the MAGA agenda comment inciting that crowd, or when he held up the Trump mask at the show
So
earlier this year. There's gonna be
so it's
some sort of incident that incites the MAGA crowd.
so it's more so not even him responding to that, but like you mean that him doing something
Yes,
that will stir up that controversy
correct.
from
Yeah.
the Meg. Okay,
Yes.
so let's say uh maybe even just like Billy slash MAGA controversy
Yeah, I think
or
that's
conflict
simple
or
enough,
something like that.
because that can really that's a wide net.
Yeah,
And so I mean that's almost a gimme, but it's we never really know how political or how politically charged Billy is going to be.
right.
You know, because I do think that for the first Trump presidency, he did kind of step away from political discussion, and I wouldn't. It's he might think it wise to do the same here. We'll have to wait and see.
Right.
Um, but I mean, because all the protest really was prior to that initial election. And so he might be in one of those phases where he's like, I'm just so disappointed in
Hmm.
everybody. I'm not gonna say anything to, you know, add fuel to that fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, back to me.
Yes. It's getting tough now, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Uh I'm gonna throw out I think a bit of a Hail Mary here, but
All
tell
right,
me
let's
what you
hear it.
think, right? Long shot LP2.
Oh shit. All right. That is a Hail Mary. What do you want that on the board?
Mm, let's fill in B3.
All right. Long
I
shot LP2.
I don't I would say that this is maybe like a 2% chance of happening. Like low, like almost definitely not. But the thing is like I was kind of thinking about just being more vague and being like, I don't know, Green Day side project LP or but the thing is I really want to narrow it down here because it's like if it was going to be a side project, it's like what it's like fucking Money Money 2025. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Is it going to be fucking Foxborough LP2? I don't think so. So if I'm going to call a side project, unless it's just something entirely new, which could be the case, I just feel like out of the existing ones, I would put a very small amount of money on the long shot. So
Okay.
that's why I'm throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean that would be incredible. And I mean it is possible here. Particularly I think in the latter half of the coming or this year, um who knows, maybe once the Green Day machine winds down, Billy wants to, he'll fire the long shot up again. He has had plenty of time to write and record an album. And I mean, I'm sure he had, like, just for fun, he has recorded things for himself, so
Hmm.
I wouldn't doubt that there's any shortage of potential material there. Guess it just depends on how eager he is to keep on playing once the Green
Hmm.
Day machine uh comes to rest.
Yeah.
um yeah, that's a good one. And I mean, there's even a couple, like I said, there's a couple of songs on the Pinhead Gunpowder LP that sound kind of long shot ish. So
Oh
maybe,
yeah.
who knows? Maybe he's been back in that mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this year, we have Green Day mostly doing festival kind of things, at least on the docket this year. They're doing the European festival circuit. I think they have a few in America as well, that's on the books. So my next bingo spot is going to be a an intimate warm up show before a festival.
Okay. Kind of like
So
I don't want to say like a secret show, but like something that's kind of like announced same day, and all the Green Day fans are kind
yeah,
of like buzzing and like, oh yeah, like all the rumors are swirling about
exactly. Yeah.
what little pub or whatever they're gonna play.
Yeah, so essentially it would be a secret show, but in preparation for the festival. Like,
Hmm.
they've done that. Like, I think they did a secret show in Chicago before they played Lollapalooza a few years ago.
Hmm.
So this is the thing that they'll do now and again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here I'll do O2 intimate warm up show pre-festival. All right. And I mean, who knows? It could even be on the East Coast, because
Yeah.
there's I remember I think it was, I forget if it was yeah, I think it was after the Rev Rad tour or something when they were wrapping that up. Or it might have even been after Hell Mecca, I forget. But there's a few festivals that have popped up over the last 5 years that are like on the East Coast, like in fucking like New Jersey or Delaware or something like.
Hmm.
So it is possible.
Yeah. Okay. I got an idea for the next one. This is something that we have talked about on the podcast and kind of thought was a possibility that kind of like already had the potential to occur and then did not materialize, which is why I'm wondering like, oh, could it be that this is being brought over into the new year, if indeed it exists or is happening at all. My next one is Kerplunk demos drop.
Oh wow.
Because remember when we were going over Kerplunk, weren't we discussing that like there's these, I don't even know if it's rumors or if it's actually confirmation that a lot of old Kerplunk demos kind of maybe were like found or surfaced or like were being, I don't know, like remastered or edit or something, right? Like isn't there
Well,
something where it was like, oh, we thought this was going to occur and then it did not?
there's a couple of things like where I think maybe um you are confusing a couple different things. Um One being, there is a bunch of Kerplunk era footage that surfaced um, by Erica Polino, Billy Joe's ex girlfriend. That I don't know if all of that has actually surfaced, or if it was just kind of a rumor or something
Hmm.
that was in the process of happening and then didn't. Some of it did. Um, and then I'm not sure if this is part of what you're thinking of, but there was a thing on TikTok a while ago. I think it was even before this year or last year, where Billy was like, they were like trying to restore the stems of the Kerplunk album so they could like remaster it. And they were doing that with AI, which is kind of before AI was taboo. It was a
Mm.
few years ago. Um, but as far as demos go, I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, okay. But
You can put it anyways, though.
was there not like a conversation about, oh, maybe it did have to do with like the footage from Billy's ex-girlfriend, because like I know that we were discussing like some potentiality where it was like, oh, maybe our Kerplunk discussion will coincide with some kind of release, and yet
I
but
think it
maybe
was
it's
the footage.
so it's not really a release in like any official capacity, just more like, oh, that this is just kind of like surfacing from a
Yeah,
personal collection, right?
I'm pretty sure that's all there is to it. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna walk it back then because
All
I
right.
I kind of thought that this was based in something a bit firmer. Um, okay. Here's my true next bingo
All right.
prediction.
Okay.
Um, uh, I'm just wondering how I want to phrase it. Something like uh, next Green Day album rumors.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's good.
Like
The
whenever you like send me something, and it'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy has the inside scoop, and we think the album's gonna be called this. And
Yeah.
how should I phrase that? That's what
I
I'm.
think that's the Green Day LP 15 rumors or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I think
But like the thing
is that
is, I don't want it to just be because it's like rumors. I don't not even trying to like like someone claiming they got the inside scoop. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's
gotcha. Yeah.
like a um.
Like a
Let's
leak?
call it, yes. Let's call it an info leak.
Info leak. Okay. So new Green Day LP info leak?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you want that placed?
Um, I think it's fine in that square where you're
All
at.
right.
Let's fill that one in.
New Green Day New Green Day LP info leak.
Yes.
There's many leakers in the Green Day fandom, so that's I mean, legitimate or not, there's a high probability that that will happen and make the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And that I will text you all the info, and you're going to be like, "That's fucking
Yes,
bullshit."
exactly.
That's happened for almost every album since the trilogy. So, and then sometimes the rumors are right. Sometimes
But
they're right.
most of the time they wouldn't.
I'm gonna jump off that a little bit because the last rumor I shared with you was that they're going to be dropping a B-side compilation called
Mm.
Hillside Dance.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm actually going to use my turn this round as I'm gonna say that they release a B-side compilation. I'm not gonna say it's called Hillside Dance. I'm just gonna say it is a B-side compilation.
Mm-hmm. But
Um,
maybe parentheses Hillside Dance.
yeah, okay, okay. Parentheses Hillside Dance. Um, because I mean, it's been a long time since they released Shenanigans. There's a lot of B-sides that they could round. I'm fucking okay. There we go.
That's all right. Maybe just leave it because
Talking and
otherwise it's hard to read.
talking and typing.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said you don't really have to add the hillside to it's
Well,
just
I'm
it
gonna
makes it
anyways.
okay. You're gonna do it.
Hillside Dance.
All right.
Because yeah, it's been quite a bit, and yeah, there's a lot of B-sides that are released and unreleased. There's B-sides we don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, if they did just release a B-side compilation of all the B-sides we know about, that would be like or have access to already. That would be a bit disappointing. It would be cool if they added some new ones in there too. Because I mean, it's tough in the streaming age. I don't even know if they think that a B-side compilation is worth it, since everything is kind of more accessible nowadays. Because Shenanigans, you could find a lot of those B-sides on like singles, like loose singles that you could get, or that were kind of rare, and you'd have to get lucky to find in a store.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays it's like anyone can go on youtube.com and listen to Lights Out or Shoplifter.
Yeah. True enough. but there is something to like compiling and officially releasing them where I do think Green Day is a band that would still like want to do that.
That's true. That's a good point.
I think that
I
they
think
like
they'd
see value in like having it as like an official part of like their catalog, if not their discography.
yeah.
So, like that it's there, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that they would throw a couple of new things in there too, just to make it worth our while, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is that's my turn.
Okay. My next one is going to be like new brand partnership. Kind of
Oh, okay.
like when they did the Dickies uh
Yeah,
kind of
the
thing,
mhm.
or I think it was this year when Billy did that like wireless headphones commercial.
Yep.
Is that you sent that to me where
Mhm.
and it was kind of like walking contradiction
Yeah, the commercial
sort
was
of
yeah.
vibe, like everything's
Mhm.
like chaos around him and he's just like kind of calmly walking through with his headphones on, right? So
That's my vibe.
my call is going to be I guess it's this one's a little general, but new brand partnership
All right, new brand partnership. You want to do
or
it?
promotion or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I think partnership is fine.
Okay.
Um, do that right in the left-hand corner.
Sure, let's throw that in the corner there.
All right, new brand partnership. I mean, you know, as we know, Green Day is a big, you know, well-oiled machine. They're you know they're a big company in their own right. So I think that's a pretty safe one.
Hmm.
Now, you know, I do want to ask you what is the ideal Green Day brand partnership for you? What would make you the most excited?
Hmm. Wow, that's a good question. Um, what would make me the most excited? Um, it's hard to say. I bet there is some some answer where I'd be like, "Oh yeah, dude, that would be sick." But the thing is that like with the previous brand partnerships that I mentioned, the Dickies, the headphones, the even like what was that that company that did like the Dookie Demastered or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're called Brain.
Yeah, right. And they're like they're a pretty small niche group that Green Day did that through. So like all those things I think are cool that they did it. And I honestly I was looking at the Green Day, the Dickies, like the jumpsuits, and I was kind of like, oh, dude, for Green Dudes, wouldn't it be sick if Connor and I got like
Yeah,
just
those are cool as hell.
dumbass matching jumpsuits, like, and that I don't think it still happen.
That could still happen. Well,
But all I'm trying to say is like none of that was like, oh, dude, I have to get that. I have to free. And it's hard for me to kind of rack my brain and think like, man, what would it be where it would like it just wouldn't matter? And I'm like, yes, I need the American Idiot Keurig machine. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure what that would be, man.
oh yeah, the Keurig machine. I know.
But somewhere there is a thing where I would drop money on it somehow. Maybe if they somehow did like
Yeah,
a Final Fantasy partnership,
yeah.
I'd be,
I was gonna bring that up. That's
I would I would jump at that. I don't know, but
or a Dune crossover,
dude, yes.
right?
Yeah, I don't know how that would happen or what it would be, but yeah, if it was Dune or Final Fantasy, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
a choice.
I you know, Punk Bunny did do a collaboration with American Dad. That we haven't talked about that. We
We
haven't talked about
haven't.
that at all. That's one of the most insane things that happened towards the end of the year that kind of got lost in the mix.
Right.
But you know, if Punk Bunny can do a collab with American Dad, then Green Day can do some sort of collab with Family Guy. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm almost surprised that hasn't happened yet.
I know. It seems it's low hanging fruit.
Hmm.
Green Day's definitely been mentioned on Family Guy, right?
I think there probably is like a cutaway
Yeah.
gag where they probably take some shots there. Yeah.
like or like Peter dressed up as American Idiot era Billy Joe in the hair dye and the
Right.
red
Red
tie and
tie. Yeah. I feel like within the vast uh catalog of Family Guy episodes, there's gotta be something somewhere in there. Right?
yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
If any of our listeners are fans of both media properties, Green Day and Family Guy, let us know if there's any crossover that we are unaware of. Because that would be fun to take a look at.
Hmm.
All right, so next up, this kind of does feel like a gimme, but it's actually not as common as you would think, especially because for the last year, with the Saviors tour, their Green Day's set lists have been pretty rigid. They've been terrific set lists, obviously playing all of Dookie, all of American Idiot,
Hmm.
um, Saviors tracks, but yeah, there's been very little room for spontaneous choices in the set. Um, so I'm gonna say, and keep in mind that this year is the majority of the shows are like festival shows, so they're not even Green Day headlining
Yeah.
shows. They're festival shows. Um, I'm gonna say um, Crazy Rarity in festival set,
Ooh, yes. That's a fun one.
which
That's a
which
cool one.
happens once in a blue moon, but it does happen. So I'm gonna say there's a Crazy Rarity in festival set. And I mean, I'm just thinking of the time when I forget what festival it was, and but like Good Riddance ended, and then they came back and played like Only of You or something like that. Like that's
Yeah.
happened before. Um, just if they're feeling if they're feeling like they don't want to stop or that they want to do something different,
Hmm.
especially after a year of touring the same set list, I feel like we might get some variation this year.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a fun one because I could see it happening, but it's like
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like it obviously it's rare. It's right in the name. Like it's a low enough odds that something about it is exciting because we talk so much on the podcast about like, oh yeah, the last song this played was in like 98 or something, or you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
so many songs have been uh overlooked and underplayed for many years now. Honest,
absolutely.
some decades.
Yes, yeah,
And it does kind of feel like there's this potential swirling around after like covering all of Dookie, where it's like, does that kind of kick up the dust off of anything else?
does it
You know?
open things up a little bit? Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
Green Day.
it's
Green
exciting.
Day plays. Green Day plays Strangeland at Lollapalooza.
Yeah. Maybe
That would
maybe
be
we'll get I
crazy.
was there, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah. But maybe
All
you would
right,
feel
you're up,
wrong
buddy.
without Kiffmeyer.
Well, I
Anyways,
think I feel like they've played it with Trey, but I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Okay, mine is speaking of Trey, mine is the return of Trey's mustache.
Oh, okay. All right, that's a good one.
I think
The
somewhere
return of
within
Trey's
this
mustache.
year, because I think it was too good to stay away for
I
full. I
know.
gotta tell you, I'm still a little bit floored by how much I actually think that enhanced Trey's look because he's everyone in Green Day, they're getting older, and at a
Yeah,
certain point, they're starting to show their age in a bit that, or in a way that I don't think is um bad by any means. I think, overall, everyone in Green Day, they're looking great. So this is not to
I agree. Yeah,
disparage anyone's looks. But when I saw Trey with that mustache, it felt like it was kind of a a a, a, a peek, a look through this window where it's like, you know, could this be Trey's look in this era of his
yeah.
life?
Hmm.
It's like for how long Are you gonna have, you know, your dyed blue hair sticking straight up, and it's, you know, like with this big old kind of baby face that he has going on a bit, you know. But I just feel like not to harp on it, but man, like for your age, Trey, I think that's a really solid move. So
Yeah. I
that's
couldn't
my
agree
thing.
more. No, I think that's a good one. I think he would look very dignified in this era of his
Yeah,
life if he was a mustache man.
right. There's a refinement to it where
Yeah.
and it's not at odds with his like buffoonish personality. I think that those two
No.
things work together. So I don't
Agreed. Oh yeah, there's plenty of silly men with mustaches out there.
absolutely yeah. There's I
That's
think
a genre of it. That's a genre in itself, I think.
there's probably a long tradition that he could kind of lean into, if anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
he could be the modern day Charlie Chaplin. So
he could. Where do you want that on the board?
let's throw that I one. Throw it
I
up at the
won. All
top
right.
there. The return of Trey's mustache.
The Return of Trey's Mustache. It sounds like a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
I'll spell
Yeah,
like
or like a
Moustache.
like an old B movie
Yeah,
horror flick.
exactly. I can see the mustache crawling off of Trey's face and
Yeah.
strangling him in the night.
Yes.
Um, that's a good one. Connor, I gotta piggyback off of this because
Okay.
that's actually a very reasonable thing that could happen this year.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of going into the realm of impossibility, the realm of hopes and dreams. Um, I'm going to say Billy Joe grows beard.
Yeah.
Billy Joe grows beard. This again, this okay. We have been surprised before. We were surprised that Billy Joe has kept his blonde hair for this entire era. Typically he does not do that.
Hmm.
Um, so is it a long shot, no pun intended, for Billy Joe to grow out a beard during active Green Day time, which this year will be? Yes, it's a long shot. It is it's not a safe bet whatsoever. But on Big O cards, I think you gotta throw in some crazy ones. So I'm gonna say Billy Joe grows beard.
Yeah. I am curious, like does it just mean like he grows a beard at all? Like what if he just posts a picture of himself with a beard on Instagram? Like does that fit the bill here, or is it like
Uh,
part of the performance? Like
I
walks
think
out
yeah,
on stage with a beard, you know what I'm saying?
I think it has to be on stage. Should we say
How about
uh
what about like bearded Billy on stage?
bearded Billy on stage? That's better. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
say bearded Billy on stage. Okay, yeah, that because I mean that's because kind of you're absolutely right. Him throwing up a selfie on Instagram of him of before tour, he
Hmm.
hasn't shaved yet. Like, yeah, okay, that really could happen. That's even probably like a 65% chance or something of that happening
Yeah.
because he does stuff like that. He's like, "Oh, look
Hmm.
at me, I haven't shaved." Look,
Right.
but for him to walk out on stage fully bearded, that's only happened a couple of times and never during Green Day's on period. So this would
Yeah.
be huge.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think the percentage of that actually happening is? Because I'm thinking it's like 5% maybe.
Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna go higher than 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's low. It's low. And like we have talked about this on the podcast, sometimes
Uh-huh.
for way longer than we really need to.
Yes.
Like this is something that you and I have kind of been almost hopeful for, because there's sort of this idea of like uh incorporating maybe like a more natural, or like it's I don't want to say aging because it's a weighted term, but essentially kind
Yeah.
of just like an acknowledgement and incorporation of them as within this older period of their life, and
Yeah.
like bringing that into like their rock persona. Like
Yes.
what is the time in which that will happen, or will it ever happen? And like Bearded Billy, I think, very much represents that question, you know.
Yeah, no, it's like when you see it, it kind of looks like, oh, Billy's next the next version of Billy Joe waiting to be born,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, I think so. And the thing is like I don't know. I think it would have to kind of coincide with a kind of musical shift. Like it would probably be maybe indicative of like I think the reason it feels so unlikely is because I think if Billy were to do that, it would almost be like a group or band decision to be like, we're gonna do we're gonna do like a fucking like George Harrison solo Green Day album like
Yeah, yeah.
deal. And like this
Uh-huh.
would be all wrapped up in that package of like, let's go for it, you know?
Yeah, let's let it all hang out. This is the new era taking off the mask for the first
Yeah.
time in a long time,
Yeah.
seeing what's there. Man, thinking about Green Day putting out their All Things Must Pass would be
Yeah, that's
fucking
yes.
incredible.
Right.
Wow. Would have
Um
thought.
and like that is why it feels so unlikely because I there is no guarantee that that will ever happen. But for
Yeah,
some reason, it's like it feels like we know that that's in them too. And I
absolutely.
just wonder if it just feels like every year that passes, there's an increased likelihood, even though it's a very small, minor step. But every year, there's sort of like that idea where it's like, is this the time? You
I
know?
know, I know. It does kind of feel, because Saviors is a big part of, they're kind of closing the circle here with Dookie, American Idiot, now Saviors. It feels like the beginning of a new era and the end of an old era. So I think as they get closer to their 60s in the coming years, I do think we might see some changes.
Hmm.
Because I don't know if Billy Joe wants to be Alice Cooper.
Right.
Um, if he wants to just to wear that hair dye and mascara and those tight black clothes for much longer. We'll see. We'll see. It's exciting though because we don't know what's ahead.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, Connor, what is your next pick?
Okay. Um, this is gonna be another out there one. I guess as I'm like racking my brain a bit, it's like these are gonna get probably increasingly unlikely.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm still in this headspace of kind of like wondering what could new music, not just for Green Day, but like the tangential, the orbit of Green Day, like what
Yeah.
could that look like? Because when you think about the future of Green Day, um, it's hard not to consider maybe like the pipe dream of certain projects materializing or certain
Mm.
things being released. So my very unlikely shout out here is going to be, let's call it Forever and Everly,
Oh shit. Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
because I think it was this year that Billy was kind of reminiscing about Foreverly and playing with Nora
He
Jones.
was. Yeah. Yeah.
And, again, it's like that means absolutely nothing. Um, Maybe it would be more, I don't know. I'm like, could it be a performance? Would it be new music? I don't know. But let's just say it'll just be anything related to that. Let's just call it
Yeah.
Forever and Everly.
Forever and
Just
Everly.
just anything.
I like that. You should reach out to him with that title and say, "Hey, if you're gonna do anything with Nora Jones, I got the title for you."
Yeah, they might have already considered that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. All right, where do you want that on the board?
Let's throw that. We'll start filling in that O space.
All right.
O 04.
Oh, Forever and Everly. I mean, I think it's ripe for a return. Obviously, Billy even tagged Nora Jones, so who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's within the realm of possibility. And again, I forget if I mentioned it on the show before, but that one Foreverly show they performed in New York City, That's like one of my biggest regrets.
Mm.
I mean, and it would be one thing, Connor, if I tried to get tickets. I didn't even try. I didn't even fucking try to get tickets to that show. What the fuck was what was happening in my life that was so important that I didn't even try to get tickets to that show?
You know, probably nothing,
What the
but
fuck?
I don't know. I do think it kind of happened at a time where like I don't think we really considered what it was and like the uniqueness of it at the time because you and I definitely went through a thing where we were listening to that album quite a
Yeah.
bit and
Yeah.
yet I don't think it really hit just speaking for myself maybe, but as a possible explanation for like what happened there, it's like I think we were both into the album and liked it for what it was, but I don't think it was until it was that era was kind of like done and over and it passed where it kind of sunk in like this was like really unique. This was like something really
Yeah.
special that happened. And I
Yeah.
don't I don't think we really considered the opportunity at the time. Yeah.
That's very true. You're right. And I think it was kind of a weird period. I feel like I think it came out in like 2014 or something. And that was a weird period for Green Day because then the next year, Connor, you and I, we saw Billy Joe perform live at the Tribeca Film Festival and play with
Yeah.
Trey and Joan Jett, and
Yeah.
um, so it just felt it kind of feels, and then after that Rev Rad and stuff, so it kind of feels like the calm before the storm. We would just weren't, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
uh, all right, so Forever and Everly, let's see what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so you mentioned before, like side projects releasing LPs and stuff. Obviously we have the network came back after 20 years to release Money Money 2020 Part 2. You did kind of mention Foxborough Hot Tubs. I also with you, Connor, I don't think we're going to get a second Foxborough album anytime soon. I do think it's possible. I do think it's
Mhm.
possible. I just don't feel like it's in the cards anytime within the next few years. But
Yeah.
what I do think could happen, because again, this is kind of something that's happened before in different ways. I think we could get a surprise Foxborough performance.
Mm.
Um, Again, this is way out there. Again, very low chances that this happens, but there is there is history here. They did one in South by Southwest, I think, in it might have been 2014 or 2015.
Mhm.
So sober Billy has played Foxborough shows. He can do it. So this is another outlandish one, but I'm gonna add it there on the bingo board. Foxborough Hot Tubs performance.
Nice. Yeah, that's part of the fun of a bingo board, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just throwing some crazy shit out there and seeing what sticks. Because
and
sometimes I think it's sort of like manifesting. I think
exactly. Yeah,
it is now more likely than it was 5 seconds ago that
yeah, right.
Foxborough will perform just because you said it and put it on a bingo card.
Exactly. I mean, the way this happens is we post this up. Somebody mentions it on GDC.
Hmm.
Bill Schneider, Green Day's tour manager, and Billy and Jason and Mike's and Trey's friend, he mentions it to the band, and they're like, not a bad idea."
Yeah.
So that's how things get done around here.
Hell yeah. That's how
We
things
are
get done.
movers. We are movers and shakers. Another cool thing about Foxborough Hot Tubs potentially playing live again
Hmm.
is when they were brought back last time, some songs from Dose were added into the set list. Which of course you can go back and forth all day whether Dose is Foxborough Hot Tubs like or not.
Hmm.
But
It is, though.
it is. But I think you could add foam songs into the mix now.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that would be fucking awesome. A Foxborough show with some foam songs sprinkled in there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get the title track, definitely Stab You in the Heart, um, Sugar Youth.
Yeah. Sugar Youth. Yep.
God, there would be some bangers they could throw out there that would fit right in.
Yeah.
Um, So
Honestly, if they play any of those, even at the, I feel like that would even fit. It's like Crazy Rarity and Festival Set. You're
yeah,
thinking of older songs, but honestly, I feel like even if they pulled something out like that, I'd be like, I'm still gonna count it because
totally,
it's like, what are the?
totally.
It's like that's just been so brushed under the rug, you know. Like
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
that'd be really something if they went for that.
Yeah, that would be incredible. We'll
Yeah.
see. Fingers crossed.
Okay. All right. My next one is going to be um Armstrong Family Canadian Vacation.
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
I just I feel like at some point this year, again, also given this being like Trump's return,
Yeah,
you know.
you're gonna say
Um
Hola Canada.
yes, I think that like Billy is literally gonna be like, I need a break. And he's never gonna leave the good old US of A. Not
No,
really,
no,
you know,
no.
it's that's it, you know, that's his home. He's an Oakland boy, you know. So it's
He
like
is.
I don't I couldn't never see him like leaving, but he had a lot of talk about being an honorary Canadian citizen, what
Yeah.
with uh Joey marrying a Canadian, right? I
Yes.
believe
Hmm.
is the connection there.
That is. That's what
Um
happened.
and so I just do kind of feel like at some point this year, Billy's gonna be like, man, I just need uh a liberal break, you know? Like I just and I think he's instead of being like, "Oh, I'm gonna pack up and move to Canada," I can just see, you know, maybe just taking some time off, maybe a
Yeah.
week in Canada
Yeah.
visiting
I could see that.
and you know, hanging out with the other half of the family now. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he could, yeah, put his honorary Canadian status to good use.
uh-huh.
Where do we
Armstrong
want that?
Family Canadian Vacation. We're gonna throw that in. Wow, that I'm surprised. This is really shrinking now. Let's throw
I
that
know.
in I3.
I3. All right. Armstrong family Canadian vacation.
Sounds like a National Lampoon movie.
I was gonna say, like at first I was like, do you think Billy's gonna do? It's gonna be like the next National Lampoon movie. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a Canadian remake of the Chevy Chase movies.
Yes. I mean, hey, it wouldn't be his first film as
That's true.
the
Yeah.
the lead actor, so why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Um, Armstrong family Canadian vacation. I mean that would be. It would be funny if like they did like a little parody video for Instagram, of like
Yeah.
them driving to Canada, and there's
Yeah.
like the whole thing with
Yeah. I could kind of see it, right?
and I mean Billy Joe is he kind of could be a good Chevy Chase dad character. I mean I think he basically
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So it would be a good fit for him. That's a great call. That could definitely happen. Let's see. That actually okay. So that inspired me now a little bit. I'm doing good jumping off of your points. You're giving
Yeah,
me
that's it's
ideas.
kind of been like a back and forth here. Like
Yeah, you're giving me
we got
ideas
the
here.
ideas flowing. Yeah.
You mentioned Billy Joe. He has had history acting in the past. It's been quite a while since he has taken to the stage or been in a production. But I'm gonna say he has a small role in a movie this year.
Hmm.
Uh, and I mean, maybe it might be like a I don't know what kind of I think it's probably going to be like a movie with that's made by some people from The Office,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's friends with those kinds of characters.
Right.
But I'm going to say he has a small role in a movie. Billy Joe, small movie role. Which he hasn't. I mean, he hasn't really had a cameo. Actually, I was just talking at Christmas at my uncle's house.
Hmm.
I don't know why we got into they were talking about how funny that movie This Is 40 is,
Oh yeah. Okay, I know that one.
which I haven't watched since it came out. I forget what it was. I forget everything about it, but um the one thing I had to contribute to the conversation was Billy Joe actually he's in a deleted scene from This Is 40.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Playing himself, I believe. And nobody cared, but I had to add that to the conversation.
Yeah, no, you can't just let that moment pass you by. Like,
No, I mean, if I, if there's a little, if there's some Green Day breadcrumbs, I am certainly going to scarf them down. Uh, I don't know, Connor. What do you think about the chances Billy Joe does a little roll, a little
yeah,
small roll?
not bad. I might give that somewhere between like 12 and 15%. Where again,
Okay,
I think it's
yeah,
pretty. It does feel like more on the unlikely scale, but it a lot of these things. Sometimes it really does feel like the unlikelihood that almost circles back around and makes it feel like, oh well, it's possible, right? Like,
I know exactly. Yeah,
but
I think it's more
it's
likely.
low.
I think there's like a likelihood higher that's like, oh, Billy Joe filmed a role like 7 years ago in something that just hasn't come out yet.
Hmm.
That comes out. I think
Hmm.
there's a higher chance, and that maybe does count. I don't know, but
Yeah,
we'll see. We
it's
got
true.
5 spots left here, Connor.
Yep, we can do
We're
it.
actually gonna do this. There was a point where I was like, I don't know if we can fill all these
No, I
squares,
agree.
but we're here. We're almost there.
Honestly, as we keep talking about it, I'm like, we could keep going. We could add
We
another
could.
row to this fucking
I know.
thing. Now, I think, like,
Let's go for 30.
um, okay, I'm, I'm kind of, I considering now, like piggybacking off of yours, and it's like I don't want to, I don't know, go off on a tangent here. Um, but something that we've talked about before too, with incredibly low odds of happening within this realm of discussion, is the announcement of the American Idiot movie, the
Wow. Yeah.
film
Yeah.
itself. That who is it? Fucking it's not Tom Hanks.
It is Tom Hanks.
It is Tom Hanks. Tom
Yep.
Hanks.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks. It feels like there's a possibility that Tom Hanks gets this thing off the ground. We're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
coming hot off the heels of this 20th anniversary. Who knows if that was the kick in the pants to get something going. And I don't think it would be out for many, many years if it happened, but maybe just the idea that someone somewhere has something going on with it.
Well, okay. So yes, there's the American Idiot 20th anniversary celebration along with the tour. Tom Hanks could have maybe he went to the Saviors tour in Los Angeles. Was like, damn, I forgot how good this record was. I love
Mm-hmm.
this musical. Um, then Connor, there's also the success of Wicked and
Yeah.
other musicals that really could put some pressure on these production companies. Be like, okay, so what do we have on the back burner here that could be a good musical success? And I mean, American Idiot is right there.
That's true.
And guess what? Those songs are better than Wicked. I could hold more space for American Idiot than
Oh,
I could
yeah.
for
Can you
Wicked.
imagine holding space for that whole? And that's the
For
thing.
real.
It's like it would kind of be a slam dunk. I didn't even fully consider it, but I love your connection of like the modern Hollywood musical landscape,
Yeah, it's
Um, because
it's it's
that's
a
true.
yeah, it's a much friendlier place for musicals than it was when the movie was originally announced.
Hmm. And it's
Or
like, what a
released.
slam dunk of a pre-made track list for you. Like, you wouldn't have
Yeah,
to include everything in it. Like, I don't know. It's like, I'm not sure how much would make the cut or what it would look like to shift it around,
absolutely.
but it's
Yeah.
like, man, like, what a fucking gift that would be to any screenwriter trying to actually get this musical off the ground and be like, listen, we know there's a market for these songs. There's a fucking built-in fan base out there waiting for this
Oh
shit to
yeah.
happen.
Oh yeah.
I could be primed to explode.
Yeah, it's an
So
easy win.
That's that's my my other Hail Mary here. American
And
Idiot the movie
and
announcement.
you get Timothy Chalamet to play Jesus. You get
Absolutely.
Austin Butler to play Saint Jimmy.
Yes. You get
If
Zendaya.
you get Zendaya to play what's her name?
Yes.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know Denis Villeneuve hasn't directed any musicals before, but like, why not just bring him on board? Why not? He likes a challenge,
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Anyways, okay, where do you want to put that on the board?
Okay, let's throw that. Let's put that in N1.
N1. All right. American Idiot, the movie.
Put the movie in all caps. American Idiot, the movie.
All right, I love it.
There we go.
Okay. All right, American Idiot, the movie. Okay, damn, that's a really good one. Fuck, let's see. I feel like I had something, but I lost it. Okay. This is an easy one. I think this is possible, especially for when they jump on the festival circuit there. I'm gonna say Green Day late night television performance, which doesn't typically happen on off years, but I think it could happen this year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that right here. Late night TV performance. And I mean, I think there's a chance that they maybe push another single from Saviors, and that's why they do that, but who knows?
Yeah. That'd be cool. And I could see that. Definitely. Maybe going back on Jimmy Fallon or something.
Do
they got a
Jimmy
good
Fallon. Yeah, maybe they do. I mean, well, because actually for Fallon, they didn't actually do a proper performance. They just did the subway busking, which obviously was incredible, and we were there. But to have a proper Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show performance, I don't think they could turn that down.
No. Be crazy to turn that down.
Now, what if they were to do a late night TV performance and it had to be a song off of Saviors?
Mm-hmm.
What song would you pick for them to perform, to give some love to?
Man, well, I can tell you what I would choose. Like if I had creative control, I would say play Susie Chapstick. Play
that's
Susie
the one.
Chapstick.
That's the one.
I don't think that's what they would go for. So I don't know. I feel like maybe the Saviors title track. That might be a cool one to play, and I think that would have like a bit more of like the oomph that you want for a TV performance. So that'd be my
true.
My not even like my guess as a likelihood, but like one that I think would kind of fit the bill. But I would really choose Susie Chapstick. Yeah,
it's a good choice. I think they might just start pushing Corvette Summer again.
Yeah.
But who knows? And I just remembered what I was gonna do. So hopefully you don't take it now. Your turn, it's still up for grabs.
And don't forget it either. You might want to write it down.
I'm gonna try and hold on to it in my mind palace.
Okay. Nice. Here we are. 3.
Just a few spaces left.
More to go. Okay. Man. Wow. This is I'm feeling a little bit stumped in this moment. We had such a fantastic run going through this bingo card.
my last one was late night TV performance. That's like scraping the bottom of the barrel. So don't feel too much pressure.
Yeah, fair enough. But it still all feels like it's within that sphere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I'm gonna say, hmm. Okay, what about a um something within like this idea of like a new Green Day book, like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
unauthorized biography kind of deal where it's like within like the band is promoting it. It's not like just some guy, but
So
also
it
it's
wouldn't
not
be unauthorized.
what does it mean if it's unauthorized? I thought that just means they didn't write it.
No, unauthorized would mean like they didn't sign off on it.
Oh, right. Oh,
Like they wouldn't
yeah.
be promoting it.
Yeah. Wow, can I admit
Yeah.
something that sounds
Yeah.
insane, but, like,
Sure.
now that you're talking about it, I'm like, "Wait a minute, holy shit." Because like, unauthorized, the word meaning, like, doesn't not given authority, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But I have to admit that, when related to a book, I kinda thought it meant, like, not the author, unauthorized,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
like, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, but I'm having like a real fucking like private ale moment right now where I'm
Yes.
just like,
Oh, and that
wait
was
a
a moment.
minute. Like
Yeah.
this
So
hold
so
on
to
a sec, because this
you,
is obvious.
yeah, it's okay. I mean, so to you though, in your mind, the only authorized books would be autobiography.
This doesn't make any sense.
Because autobiography stands for authorized
Yeah,
biography.
no, right, yes.
With in that, following that logic. Um
Yeah.
that's good. That's very funny.
Wow. Okay. Uh so wait a minute. So authorized Green Day
Authorized Green Day
book.
biography
But yeah,
or
by
just
something.
book. All right.
Something
I
like
think
that.
that's yeah, I mean, especially with the whole with the big anniversaries, I think there is a good chance that maybe they have maybe there is a biography in the pipeline that they can get behind.
Yeah, because I really wonder when, like, the last time something like that was, like, pushed
Oh yeah.
by the band. Like, I mean,
Uh-huh.
because obviously you could go out and find shit like that, but they're unauthorized
There's
is the
tons
thing.
of unauthorized Green Day
Tons of so
biographies.
many
Yes.
are
Yes.
unauthorized,
It's
like, and
true.
we all
Yeah.
know what that means, like,
We do. Well, we do now. We
we
do
do
now.
now, yeah, no, we both, like,
Um
do now, so for sure, yeah.
Okay, where do we put that on the board? We have 3 spots left.
Alright, let's throw that in, the B
All
spot.
right, B2. All right. Authorized Green Day book. All right. I think that's a good maybe that's like a maybe even like a 30% chance or something.
Hmm,
25-30% chance. Um okay, that was a good one. 2 spaces left. All right. So for the penultimate uh bingo square, I this is kind of funny cuz I mean it kind of like makes you think of an incident happening or something not great that the band does
mhm.
to warrant this. But I'm gonna say Instagram apology post.
Yeah, okay.
They're gonna do something that pisses people off,
Yeah,
and they're gonna have to apologize in some way.
yeah, yep.
Which I think has only happened once or twice ever. So and I don't know, we can speculate what that might be, what the most likely scenario is.
Mhm,
There's a whole wealth of possibilities. um we know that these guys are, they're Gen X, so maybe they're not on the tip top of the you know social niceties or social justice iceberg.
Yeah.
They could make a mistake. It could happen.
Or
And
even just piss off the wrong people, because when we were talking
yes,
about like the Billy MAGA crowd, it's like, we saw what happened with fucking Tenacious D this past
oh
year.
yes, very true. Yeah,
Where in my
yeah,
eyes, KG said something pretty benign. He was just like,
very
man,
much so. Yeah, I
s-
mean,
pretty like normal fare for like just
yes,
being like a liberal rocker.
exactly.
Like,
If
I'm sorry. I think it's just fine to say what he said. You know,
I and we all we I mean we're not gonna say it, but
I'm not,
it's fine.
I'm
It's
not
fine for
gonna
him.
say,
We're not gonna say it. But no, Kyle Gass is he's all right in my eyes. Jack Black, on the other hand, I think he has some work to do.
Yeah,
I think he's got to make it up to his fan base a little bit.
yeah.
But he's Jack Black, so I mean, people are going to welcome him back and with open arms no matter what. So hopefully, I mean, it would be very disappointing for Billy Joe to have a Jack Black moment, but it is possible. So I'm gonna do the 01 space with Instagram apology post.
hmm And for the record, I was actually imagining like, oh, what if Billy had a Kyle Gass moment where,
Oh
like, if,
yeah,
not
yeah.
not that he would take the bleeding heart liberal
Oh,
side, but
that's
more
true.
like,
That's true.
what if he just like says the wrong quip, or and then
We
it's like,
could,
oh, he
yeah.
stirs up the hornet's nest where it's like, fuck, like I just gotta.
Actually, that is more likely. It might be bad that I assumed that he was Jack Black in this scenario.
I don't know.
Um,
I mean,
because I
it could
mean,
be though. I don't know.
he could really go either way. I think
hmm
he
hmm
could be a staunch liberal,
Yeah.
respectability politics guy, or he could be uh, tell the president of the United States to I mean
We all know.
we all know
We
we all
know.
know
You
we
and
all
I,
know
we know. We know. If you
we
don't
know.
know, go look it up.
Go look it up. But we're not getting canceled. No, sorry, not today. All right, Connor, you have the honor of giving us the last square on the bingo board.
Okay.
Do you have the final bingo card here?
I do actually. And
All right.
it's funny because it is piggybacking off of you a little bit. And the truth is that I had this one in my mind palace. I was thinking about this
Okay.
one a few squares ago, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hold off on that one in case I go last. And here
Yeah,
I
nice.
am. But this last one, G5, is going to be. I don't know if I can do a slash like one way or the other. But it's about us. I was gonna put
Oh, okay. All right.
Green Dudes recognition / controversy.
Okay.
Where it could, like, is it okay for one bingo space to be on either side of that? Because
I
I
think
don't
so.
I don't want it to just be a bad, like, I wouldn't want to just
No.
say Green Dudes conjuring, but it's like, but like maybe we're getting to the point where someone on some side of something,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
could see.
so I'm gonna say maybe we could just leave it at Green Dude's recognition, but I was kind of feeling like something Green Dude's
I'm
recognition
adding no,
slash
I'm
controversy.
yeah, I'm gonna add in the slash. I think it needs to be set because I could see like an unhinged Twitter poster being like uh I don't know, that's very small. The font is very small.
Maybe maybe instead of a slash then, because it makes it all one word, maybe recognition or, and then you could just do another line. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. All right, there we go. That's much better. Okay.
Yeah.
Um I could see something happening where I mean one of us maybe says something or
Yeah. I mean,
we've been known to say shit.
we've been known to say, it's like, we're talking
Yeah.
about fucking jacking off and all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
eventually, I don't know. I'm not saying that I want anything to happen,
No, of
but
course not.
we I think this is like last year has been a good year for us. Like we're
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
I think it's okay to acknowledge ourselves
Oh
a
yeah, I
little
mean,
bit
we're
too.
kind of a big deal in the Green
We're the
Day
only Green Day podcast
fandom.
that matters.
Literally,
Hmm.
literally. Um, so I just want to say for whoever is going to call us out, potentially, when you come for the Kings, you best not miss.
That's a quote from Kyle Gass, I believe.
Kyle Gass. Yes. Yeah. Literally. That's all he said. That's all he said. And they
Yeah.
canceled him. So,
So we're next. I don't know.
we might be next. Connor, all in all, I think this is a pretty good board.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because just to pull that curtain back a little bit, but before we started, we knew we were going to do this, and I was like, hey, do you want to discuss the bingo board at all? Because 25 squares, I was
Yeah.
a little intimidated, and you said, you know what, Connor, we're going to do this live, and
I did say that.
I just trust you implicitly, not only as the host of Green Dudes, but as my dude wife for life.
Hey.
This was a fun go. So
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for trusting me. I might have been a bit overconfident. There was a little bit of panic in the middle there, but we fucking got to the light at the end of the tunnel.
good
And
for
so
us.
now I think it's important kind of we hold on to this.
Oh yeah,
And I think we have to, maybe every quarter or so we check back in and see what see if we won anything yet.
that's right. And obviously to our listeners slash viewers, our audience, I guess that's the catch-all term.
Yeah.
Please not only feel free to play along with our Green Day card here, because if we miss something, I would love to get a heads up or notification. But also,
Yes.
if this has inspired you to make your own Green Day related bingo card, or if there's any bingo squares that you think like, hey, this is a solid choice. Like, what if you threw that on there? Hit us up. Because
Yeah.
that'd be a pretty cool to see the
That would be
other
awesome.
thoughts for Green Day fans out there.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to see because I'm sure there's obvious things that we should have thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just be like, oh man, of course Mike does a dumb selfie on Star Wars Day or whatever.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like
That could be the free space though, to be honest.
that. Yeah,
It doesn't happen every
really
year. But
could
yeah.
be the free space. But yeah, please let us know. Connor, anything you want to call out or mention before we wrap things up?
No, I just want to say Happy New Year. Thank you for continuing to listen and supporting us. Hope you have fun playing Green Day Bingo throughout the year, and
Yeah.
look forward to our upcoming discussion on Basket Case.
Basket Case. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I might be a bit intimidated, but next freaking week, we're doing Basket Case. Come hell or high water. So look forward to it. We're starting the new year in a big way. Watch out. This doesn't count. This is like still kind of the runoff of last year that we're kind of dealing with,
Yeah.
So
It's like after your 4-day hangover, you still got to get like one last purge out,
Yes, exactly. This is like
This
my
is
fine.
it.
The disappointment I had, I didn't puke once, Connor.
What
I
the
didn't
fuck?
puke once.
Yeah,
During my
that's
entire
probably why
hangover.
you felt sick for so
It
long,
is.
is because
It
it's
is.
still in you, dude.
Yes. If I puked that morning that I woke up, I would have felt so good. I just didn't have it in me. I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck's wrong with me. Maybe this is growing up. What has that song go? By that other band?
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is
Yep.
going up. Okay.
That other
Anyways,
band.
that other band. If you have anything to say, if you want to cancel us or confront us in any way, please go ahead. You can email us at greendudespod@gmail.com. We also like nice comments and nice discussions. Because overall, I think we're nice boys in a general sense. Um, if you like what you heard, you can leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify podcasts. You can follow us on social media at Green Dudes Pod. We are on both Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky. But folks, until next time,
Stay
stay
punk.
punk. All right, that was the podcast. Happy New Year to all, and to all a good night.